good on the Zoom.
Can they hear me through this?
I can hear
Can they
you.
hear me through this mic?
Yes, they should be able to.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yes.
This is
I can
Michael
hear you.
Brooks.
Yeah.
All right.
Hello.
Oh yeah, you can see me on camera.
Yeah.
Can we pivot the camera so it's obviously
A little bit more. This preset.
I'll
Yeah.
probably just try and sneak it right about here.
Yeah. And if the camera ever does kind of pan out, it's the one button.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
and it's like right there.
They put the door
Mic's
back on the
on.
staff room.
Yeah, mic's on.
Okay, they put the door back on the staff room and it's locked. Do you have access?
There you go. So it seems like this room's good. I'll check again on B.
Okay. Thank you. Do I need to do anything to unmute this?
You just click the button.
Oh, okay, we're good. We're good. All right, guys, we're giving people a chance to come in physically. I could mess with the camera and you can see who you're talking to in person here in Kansas City. But we're getting people in here. Joshua Young, I think some of you know.
Hi, Ray.
I think Ray, I think you know him.
Hello.
He's with our board of directors. He's me and Joshua here will kind of lead in person. We need to get you on camera though.
Yeah, I don't know if you sort of, okay. So it's just a second monitor.
It's a second screen. Okay. All right, everyone can see you on screen right now. We have a projector system over here, so you are visible to our in-person attendees. Just a heads up on that. No picking your nose or anything. And this is being recorded as well. This part will hopefully edit out.
You guys can hear us and everything?
Okay.
Yes. So just so you know, your audio is connected to the speakers in the room. So we can hear everything you're saying.
Awesome.
Yeah, like everyone heard
Good to know.
awesome.
Okay. All right, just to let you guys know, I'll just say hello, introduce you guys. And I thought we would start with the tennis.com and then I'll walk around with a microphone and see if we have any questions. And then Ray and I can go with over to NASCAR and go over our special announcements, things like that. Okay.
Sounds good. But you said tennis.
I don't know where, not tennis. Oh yeah, chess.com. Wow.
I don't know if you're messing with us or it's another speaker we're missing.
I must have missed that memo somewhere. In the wrong call.
So, all right. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. So this session is going to be a little interesting. I'm the only one physically here, and then you can see I have everybody over there. My name is Joshua Young. I'm the head coach at Pennsylvania College of Technology. We are a special mission college of Penn State. And it's funny, we have an esports team. Penn State main campus doesn't have a varsity team. They have a club right now. So we're ahead of the game in Pennsylvania. I'm also a board member up for re-election. Just let everybody know if you have any questions about that afterwards, I can talk forever about it. So I'd like to continue on and let them introduce themselves. Start out with chess.com.
Sure, I can go first. Hi, everyone. My name is Michael Brancato. I'm the VP of Esports here at chess.com, and I oversee and manage our entire competitive ecosystem. Everything from professional tournaments to community events to collegiate events, which is why we're here today. And I'm joined by my colleague, Joe, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. My name's Joe Lee. I started working for chess.com about a year ago, but I started and have been running the Collegiate Chess League since 2020. So my official title at chess.com is the commissioner of the Collegiate Chess League, which I think is pretty cool because I've been running it for about 2 years or 2 seasons on my own before chess.com brought me on to join their team. So Michael and I are kind of like the tag team duo that runs the college chess scene at chess.com. And we're super excited to be here and joining NACE to run this season. Our upcoming season is going to be essentially our 5th season that we've ever done, our 4th school year. And it's going to be our biggest one yet. So just a little bit about the Collegiate Chess League. In the past, our first season ever had about 30 schools. I think we had over 300 players play. And our most recent season, we've had over 100 schools from over a dozen countries, which is really awesome. So it's an international event. It's completely free to join, and chess.com puts up $50,000 in prizes every school year. So if you guys are in college or you know a college chess club, definitely look into it. You can reach out to me on Discord or email. I'm at joe.lee@chess.com. Yeah, did you guys have any questions for us? Is that what we're doing here, or do you guys want to
Joe,
just
if
hear
you
us
want,
talk more
could
about?
you put your Discord in the chat? We have the chat open so everybody can see that.
Okay. Yeah, actually, we have a Collegiate Chess League server, and we have this custom link actually, which is pretty nifty. It's go.chess.com/discord_CCL. And if you wanted to add me as a friend, you're more than welcome to do that. Mine is Joe Bruin. So I guess a little bit more about myself. My real name is Joe Lee, but I went to school at UCLA, and their mascot is the Bruin, and their mascot's name is actually Joe Bruin. So I think I already got a friend request. So awesome stuff.
I actually didn't know that. I didn't know it had a name.
Yeah. So the Bruin mascot, his actual name is Joe. So I kind of stole that as my username. I also stream on Twitch at the same username. Oh, are we doing did you guys want to, Ray, am I stealing your time? Did you want to introduce yourself, or?
Doing intros,
I didn't know
but
if we were just doing
it's great.
chess.com or not.
Yeah, let's have Ray introduce, and then we'll go back to chess here a little bit.
Okay.
And see if there's any questions.
Perfect. So Ray Smith, real quickly with NASCAR. I am the director of esports and gaming. So I oversee everything we do in the competitive world of esports, mainly sim racing. And then I also oversee everything we do with activation.
Okay, thanks, Ray. So we'll open up to any type of questions about chess.com. I know this merging esports, and they're 2 totally different ones, chess, NASCAR. I personally am an iRacing guy. I've been doing it since 2011. I'll talk more about it here in a little bit, but we'll get some questions here about the chess.com. Anyone? All right.
Well, check.
Well, so everybody can hear it.
Is there any intent for the chess portion to be part of LAN events in the near future?
You want to take that, Brancato?
Yeah, that's a good question. I believe we have not done CCL as a LAN in the past. So that would be right, Joe?
Yeah, so we definitely, we haven't done CCL in person yet, but we do have plans for that. And we've done other
something that
events.
we're absolutely interested in doing that, especially if it makes sense as part of the broader esports, collegiate esports world that we're joining here with partnership with NACE. That sounds really compelling, and if we have the support to do that, then we are interested in that for sure.
Yeah, and just to give you guys 2 pretty solid examples, the Collegiate Chess League is based off of a pro chess league. It's called the Pro Chess League that chess.com has run. They've done in-person finals before, which is actually where I met Danny Wrench. I don't know if you guys know at chess.com, but that's where I pitched him the idea of the Collegiate Chess League, was at the Pro Chess League finals in 2019 in San Francisco. Also upcoming, I believe, I don't know if we've, I'm pretty sure we've announced that the CGC is going to be in person, right?
Yep, that's true. The Global Championship will be in person. Interestingly, not as a LAN, but as an over-the-board chess event. Chess is very uniquely positioned in that it's one of the only games out there where you can play the online digital version and the physical over-the-board version are essentially the same game. It's not exactly the same, but it's pretty damn close. And that opens up new possibilities as it comes to using, online qualifiers into a physical over-the-board finals. And if we decide to do an in-person finals for a Collegiate Chess League season, then that's the conversation I want to have, and what makes the most sense. Although if we're calling it, if it's like Collegiate Esports, maybe it's a little weird to not have the finals be played on a computer, but it's an option. Chess is definitely a unique case in that way.
Okay, well, we have a question here on the chat. It says the biggest question is around cheating on chess.com platform. It's so easy for users to cheat at chess. What will be using through NACE to combat that?
Sure. So we have,
talk.
we've been dealing with, we call it fair play on our team. We've been doing fair play for years, and it's something that we're extremely experienced in handling. And you're right that it is actually very easy to cheat at chess. You can open engines and they make moves for you and all that kind of stuff. But our measures involve monitoring, where we get players on cameras and literally scan their room, make sure they don't have earpieces, make sure that they've had them share their screen, make sure there's no analysis software in the background. That's like the highest touch point of fair play that we do. But we also have a lot of programmatic, like automatic detection of cheating that is a very well guarded secret as far as like how exactly it works from the exact, like, I guess, algorithm perspective, but it's based on statistics. And we have an extremely high success rate of catching cheaters, including people who are very, very, very good at chess. We've caught cheating, and we've unfortunately had to take disciplinary action against that. So we feel we've been doing this for many years already in very, very large prize pool events with the best players in the world. And we feel we're very well equipped to just apply those standards to Collegiate.
Yeah. So just to build off that really quickly, chess.com in and of itself has a great way of detecting and handling that in general. But the Collegiate Chess League on top of that also has additional fair play measures where players caught cheating are simply removed from the league and banned from competition for the rest of that season. Additional rules like that, I think, that players are aware of is another barrier to cheating that has been successful for us. And I think I'm not sure your question is saying what we'll be using through NACE to combat it. I'm not entirely sure, but chess.com has its own measures to go against that. So
yeah, we literally have like we have a whole team of staff like literally dedicated to this issue. And we take competitive integrity like extremely seriously. That's the backbone of any competition. And we do our absolute best to keep play completely clean.
I just want to step in here because I think we maybe jumped the gun here. Does everyone know that we're running chess? Like, I just want to establish there was an announcement at the end of June 30th, went live, kind of went viral as well, which was amazing and great and exactly what we wanted to see. But just to make sure we're all level set on the same ground, on June 30th, we announced a partnership with chess.com and NACE Star League, which is NACE and Playfly Esports, to jump in and help run Collegiate, the Collegiate Chess League. And that has 2 seasons coming forward this academic year, a fall season and a spring season with $20,000 in terms of a prize pool for the first season in the fall, and in the spring, a $30,000 prize pool as well. And what Joshua Young here has done is he pulled up, I think this is the announcement for chess.com. It kind of went all over the place, which is exactly what we wanted to see. And so we're looking to bring chess to the varsity esports space to really start bridging what we think and what we've now heard from is a pretty sizable overlap of interests, which is exciting. Anyways, just wanted to make sure before you got too far down the line and you're like, why are we talking about chess? In case you missed the announcement, this is why. It's coming to NACE Star League, and it's coming in a big way.
Super appreciate that, Michael. And yeah, the Collegiate Chess League is a program that we've already been running for a few academic years now. And we're just really excited to bring the partnership to your team here and really try to blow it up and make it as big as it can be.
Do we have
Also,
any other questions?
I was gonna say I really, really appreciate all the love and questions on the chess side, but I also don't want to leave Ray hanging here because this is not the chess.com
Yeah, how much
panel.
time?
This is-
How much time
yeah,
do you have
so-
for each?
Yeah, we're good right now still. So I'll get a couple more questions and we'll go over to NASCAR.
Awesome.
Can pro players play?
Yeah, so that's a great question. The Collegiate Chess League, I think, really prides itself in allowing anyone interested to compete. So something that I think can be really intimidating for newer chess players is the skill gap between the pro players versus the casual players. The Collegiate Chess League does this really cool thing where we actually have multiple divisions based off your strength and your rating. So, for example, last season, we had 14 divisions registered, which is a lot. Essentially, each division had 16 teams. So I would say the top division, D1, was more or less professional players. There are some really strong chess schools out there that have teams of like nothing but grandmasters. The average team rating to get into the top division was over 2,300 on chess.com. Some of you may or may not be familiar with that. But more or less like 2,200 is about master strength. It's a little different in terms of like online rating versus over the board rating. But our 14th division, which is our lowest division, had an average team rating of less than 1,000, which more or less is just complete beginners. So like I said, we're really proud that we're super inclusive. Anyone at all that's interested in playing chess is more than welcome to compete. And they're also guaranteed to play against people of their same strength so that you're not going to like lose every single game. That's not a guarantee, but that's the design of our league. So you're not going to get paired up against, you know, the best players in the league every time and get crushed. So there shouldn't be any concerns about that.
So I just double checked the current rule set that we have. And it is similar to everything else in NACE Star League, right? We don't look at amateurs of status. That doesn't exist in esports, collegiate specifically. But as Joe pointed out, it doesn't really matter so much. You're powering based upon your skill and put up against people of a similar skill level.
One thing I want to add to that actually is for the fall season, the regular season allows weekly Swiss tournaments, and Swiss is a format kind of by design pairs players that with opponents of similar skill levels. Even if the first match might be a mismatch, you'll very quickly play against people that are closer to your level.
Yeah, so I see a question here from Karen. And I know Michael Brooks just referenced our 2-season format of the school year. So our spring season is essentially our team season, which is kind of what our main format has been. Just this year with NACE, have we started this individual fall season format. So when you're saying the roster size expectation for each school, in the spring, a team has to have at least 4 players. So the team format is a 4v4, which I think is really exciting. But in the fall, we're just going to do an individuals tournament. So like Brancato was saying, with the Swiss tournament, you're essentially registering as an individual representing your school. and there's no limit to how many people can join. You can have as many people from your school join as you want. And at the end of the regular season, we're going to put you into divisions based off your performance in the weekly Swiss tournaments. And so the NACE announcement link has the schedule. Our registration is opening in August. Right now, if you go to that site, there's an interest form that you can fill out, and we will email you when the registration is open. You can also join our Discord server where we will make that announcement as well. So that will be emailed out and announced on our social media platforms as well, with the season starting on September 24th.
Okay, well, so we have some time at the end to give out more questions. We'll switch over here to the eNASCAR bit. I'll speak a little bit, Ray, and then I'll hand it over to you to do the announcement. I have it up and ready. I have been a sim racer back since NASCAR 2004 game, which has now become iRacing. And that's how I actually got involved in esports. iRacing, sim racing is completely different than Overwatch, Rocket League, Valorant League, any of those games. But it's all the same. It's competition. So since they are sort of separate in the ecospace of esports, they're just doing their own thing. I pushed Michael to find people. We met Ray through Collegiate Iracing League, right? Or I don't know how we met you, Ray, but we connected with Ray, who got us to iRacing. We had about 12 to 18 months of talks until, we nailed this down. And my one pitch was, what sport in the college space can you have 43 different schools competing against one another at the same time? Track is about the only one I could ever think of, or swimming, those events. But you can't do that with football, soccer, and those others. So it's a unique esport for college and universities. Some of the things about it, it may be a little expensive to start up because you need to have special equipment, steering wheel, pedals, all that. And I saw a question about that, which I want to answer before I forget. It's a little hard to. Oh, okay. All right. So, all right. This was from Paul Christians and ... All right. So it says, do we need to buy standardized pedals and wheels? How does that work? Simply just go to the iRacing website, and somewhere in there, there will be a list of the pedals and steering wheels that will work with iRacing. The low end is the Logitech G923. I think that goes for about $399. It comes with steering wheel and pedals. And to be honest, that's what most of the pro drivers in the Coca-Cola eNASCAR series use. So you don't need to get the $3,000 Fanatec setup like I have at my house. It is very attainable to get into it from a standpoint of that. So at this point, I'm going to pass it over to Ray and show the announcement, and he'll continue on this conversation about eNASCAR.
Appreciate it. So I'll jump in real quick and sort of rehash some of the things that Joshua talked about. I emailed Michael Brooks. That's how we met. I had started studying the college esports scene around 2019. Went to Randolph-Macon with Alex over there and toured their lounge and talked with their students and started understanding why students went to college for esports and why you would choose one school versus another school based off esport programs. So that all started in 2019. And then I started with the eNASCAR group in 2020. And one of the first things I told my boss I wanted to do was I wanted to integrate iRacing into the college esports scene. Like when we're looking to grow, when we're looking to make an impact for our market, like college is an obvious spot for us. So like Joshua said, we talked about it for a long time. We had focus groups for 13, 14 months before we were confident enough to pull the trigger on anything and move forward. So last semester, spring semester, right before the semester, we pitched this whole idea right before Christmas in 2020 at one of our partnership meetings, without formulating any plan, any rule sets, any formalities, sending out any messaging, any surveys. We had 4 partners come talk to us after that conference and said that they were willing to sponsor our series that we hadn't developed yet. So we're already in a good spot. So we launched 3 events last semester in the spring semester. Each event I sort of see as a marquee event. There's a 10-day period before each event, which is an open invite. If you're a college student, you have the email address, you can be verified by NACE, you can enter into that open invitational. And what that 10-day time frame does is that any student during that time can go in, as long as they have an iRacing membership and they're verified by NACE, they can go in and try to set the fastest time they can. There's no limit. We had students putting down 400 attempts to try to get in the top 40. So 10 days, then the top 40 goes into the marquee event. In the marquee event, we stream that with iRacing on Facebook, Twitch, and on YouTube. And after our 3 events, we saw over 400 students participate. When we were talking in our focus groups, we're like, well, 40 students actually participate in this event. And we were successful exceeding 40 students. So we had over 400 students participate, and those students represented over 260 colleges and institutions. So it was far more of a success than we'd ever thought we'd see. And so we wanted to refine everything that we've done in the spring semester for the fall semester. We're looking to connect the right dots as we go along. We don't want to throw any Hail Marys here. We want to grow this thing in a natural, safe pace. So this morning, we were able to announce that we are bringing on our 5th partner for the fall semester. And so that partner will be Xfinity. So right now we have Xfinity, Playseat, Coca-Cola, SCW, and Logitech as partners. And as we go into the fall semester, we will be able to distribute $60,000 in scholarship money to 40 students this fall. But those will be open competitions, and you will see a lot of those students competing at the high end and maybe walking away with 4 different installments of scholarship. So we're very excited to grow this from spring semester to fall semester. We already have more opportunities in front of us where we are trying to do this the right way and grow this series the right way. But with NACE, we're able to communicate to the market share correctly, and with iRacing, we're able to provide all the information there. But truly, the way NASCAR sees this initiative is this is a way to get our product, our IP, into the college demographics' hands. We truly feel that iRacing gives the classroom something new and fresh to teach around. We know there's a curriculum around this, whether it's engineering or graphic design or sports management, journalism. Like, we know there's all these different components around iRacing that once we get this institutionalized, then the faculty and the students that are going to be the future of what we do in NASCAR will help us grow. So that's really how NASCAR looks at this, is that this is a way to make us smarter, better, and bigger in the near future.
So I just want to add a few words. Hear myself echo there. just add a few words here to kind of explain the general idea here. Ray kind of explained this, and this is actually what kickstarted a lot of different ideas, is the way we define esports today, the games that we think of, is that it, right? Or are we talking about different genres that can open up, different types of gamers that the current MOBAs, for example, or first-person shooters, that's not their jam. They don't care about those. And lo and behold, yeah, the world of gaming is huge. And when we looked at sim racing with iRacing and NASCAR, we went in there and Ray, very brave, put a lot of his political capital on the line, saying, no, I think there's something here for people who love racing and gaming. And he gave the example. We were concerned that we couldn't find 40 drivers in the country to play at the collegiate level. We honestly didn't know. And we way overshot that in terms of interest for 3 exhibition races. So we went out there, put it out there in a pretty light way. And Josh was showing a video here of what this looks like as well. The races for fantastic, viewership was fantastic. I mean, in every single KPI, if you talk about like how do you measure success, this was a home run in every single category. And that's why we're excited as heck that we're working with NASCAR and our partners over iRacing to expand this greatly. So it's not just exhibition races, we're doing full seasons now. It also highlighted and opened the door to work with groups like chess.com. Again, how do we identify who an esports athlete is? Is the games that we're currently looking at, is that the end all be all, or does that category need to be expanded? And when we're talking with chess.com, they had the advantage of having run collegiate chess league for years already. And so we saw that this was an area where there's already a ton of activation on colleges and universities on campus with chess programs. This is an opportunity to start bringing these programs together, esports and chess, to create something really special. Can we add our expertise, our resources, our know-how to really, really elevate this? Oh yeah, so this is what sim racing looks like if you're viewing it. We're excited as heck that we work with Podium Esports. That's the same crew that does all the broadcasts for NASCAR, eNASCAR itself. So we're using the same group. Not a lot of organizations say like, yeah, our crew is the same people who do it for the professional side. But I wanted to give you some of that background, and probably should have done that at the beginning to give an explanation of why we're expanding. And if we get anywhere near the success that we saw with sim racing, I mean, we're talking about a huge number of students who are now have a home on your campuses within your eSport program. So we're looking to fund that, provide the incentive through scholarship programming, giving back to students and give them a way to hopefully earn their college degrees. So we have the people who are the experts on the other side of the table when it comes to NACE Star League. We've got chess.com, obviously, and iRacing. And I think we could probably bring them back up. So we can bring you guys back on the screen so everyone can see you guys again.
And
So
just
again,
let you know, all 3 of the races that were in spring, they're on YouTube. If you just do eNASCAR Collegiate, you'll see them. So go ahead. Sorry to interrupt.
No, I was just wanting to provide the framework because I know we jumped right in there. And I was like, wait a second. Some people might not know. Let's make sure, because they saw the announcements and everything. But there, yeah, the announcement we showed on screen in terms of eNASCAR, that did go out today. So you can go to NASCAR.com, look at their news or media, and you'll see it. It's blowing up on social media already. There's a bunch more information there. If you have questions on how to get your students involved, how to find students, by the way, because it goes both ways. Sim racing and chess are probably already active on your campuses. You just might not know it, but we do have partners who do know the exact students already on campus. And I'm looking at my chess.com friends. Exactly. They've been running this league globally for the last 4 years. Almost, I forgot how a few thousand schools already participate. Odds are your institution's already participating. You just don't know. So how do we connect that, make those connections so that you guys can do something more impactful and powerful moving together? We can help with that.
Sorry, how many drivers did you say there were for like regular season competition
For this the question that was asked is how many drivers can compete for this? Were you asking for this last season or for the season coming
Yeah,
up?
just I'm trying to wrap my head around
Like,
the
compete during the race or overall in the time trials?
I guess both. In the
Okay.
last race and overall.
All right.
Overall,
I don't remember the numbers
got it.
of the total. So Ray, I'll defer that, but the race itself is 40, the top 40 drivers who compete in the time trial end up in that race for that week.
So from my perspective, like I think we had like 250 students the first race, and then the second race we're up past 400. With that being said, like that 10-day qualifying period, like in our mind, that's when the competition starts. Like those drivers are trying to find the fastest places on the track. They're trying to manipulate where their car is driving and how to get the fastest lap. So the competition's wide open for those 10 days. So at the end of those 10 days, the 40 fastest times do get to compete on a streamed event that's got a full broadcast crew, all that creative assets are built, and all the marketing is done behind that. We are looking to expand the competition to allow drivers 41 through 80, 81 through 120 to get a second bite at the apple. So we're like I said, we're making some safe moves forward, and increasing the activity of the driver is one of them.
So to give you some more details, just make sure, and this is published now, you're qualifying. You're trying to qualify to get into the main race. There's going to be 4 of those races this fall. So the time attacks are basically, or the qualifying elements are from the first one's September 6th to September 15th. And during that process, you're basically trying to compete to get the best time with the best scores, like the safety ratings and all that, to get to the main show, and rinse and repeat every single time. So there's multiple opportunities to get, use a different sport analogy, a swing at the plate.
And you, sorry, you said there were 400 that competed in that 10.
Yeah, over 400. Yeah, we track the numbers for all esports that NACE Star League touches, and the numbers, again, we were scared we wouldn't get 40 when it came to sim racing. Like we went way past that.
Has there been any talks about limiting the number of racers that get from each school that can get in, or like, could there be a day where the top 40 are all from the same school? Maybe like, what does that look like for the future?
Yeah, so that's something that it's been a live topic of discussion. We didn't limit that with the last 3 exhibition races. If you happen to have the best drivers, and most of them happen to be from one school, this never happened, but like hypothetically, yeah, you could. Now, I think moving forward,
It was the top driver.
it was a top driver. Yeah, I don't think we restricted that. I'll have to go back and check in the rule set.
I think we did because of.
Ray, do you remember on did we move to restrict that? So there's only the top driver from each institution?
Yeah, this past spring, we only allowed the top driver from each school to participate. We are finalizing, but from my perspective, we're going to eliminate that. For example, UNC Charlotte, right in our backyard, they had over 10 drivers participate in the qualifying period. And they probably had 3 drivers that would be in the top 40. We don't want to ignore that success from that school. So as we plan towards the fall, we'll probably see an elimination of the school limit of drivers.
Let's start over from the right, and I'll work my way back.
Yeah, just curious for the equipment for Iracing, what roughly do you need to compete?
Okay, well, if everybody in here is in esports, so I'm gonna guess that you already have the computers. So that's step 1. Step 2 is you need to have the steering wheel and pedals. I wouldn't go anything lower than the Logitech G923, but there are ones that are cheaper, and people do use that, but that's all you need. But then you work from there and go up. So I'll just explain my setup. I have the Fanatec DD2 steering wheel. That's called a direct drive steering wheel. So there's just a motor attached to the steering wheel, and then it's attached to my PC. Software controls it. And then the pedals are the CSL Club Sport pedals from them. And there's two different types of pedals. There's the load cell pedals, which are more mimicking actual pedals in a car. It's the pressure you put on that brake compared to how far you press that brake down in some of the lower end pedals. But to be honest, to be good, you don't need the high end stuff. You could do it anywhere. So I have the 923 in my facility, and at some tracks, I'm actually faster on that wheel than my $15,000 setup at home. Why? I don't know, but it's less feedback on that pedal and steering wheel configuration compared to my high end, but it really doesn't matter as long as you get suited to that setup.
On the low end, it's about a $300 setup.
Yeah.
Like if we're looking at Logitech equipment, and I know Ray's working with some of the partners you mentioned earlier. Logitech's one of them. Try to streamline this for people who know their students are interested in sim racing, but maybe don't know enough themselves. There was a question back there.
Is there plans to expand to like different tracks collegiately, or is it all just gonna be circle tracks, or what's?
Oh, they're already different tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They've been different tracks for a while now.
So we're doing the NASCAR truck series in this. And this year we'll have 3 oval tracks in the Charlotte Roval, right?
Yeah, we switched to Xfinity cars.
Right.
For the fall.
Yeah. So nothing against NASCAR. I want to continue moving forward. I do the IndyCar in iRacing more than NASCAR. So moving forward, Michael's gonna get me.
You're in trouble, actually. Our NASCAR partners are frowning at that.
Oh, wait, well,
Yeah.
I'll talk. Let's try IMSA first. Is that better?
Well, that's exactly where I was going with too. Like, one, the NASCAR schedule is much more heavy road course than it ever has been before.
Right.
Two, I do see a future of us bringing the IMSA cars into the college realm. It makes sense. Those cars are a lot more sexier than a stock car. A 19-year-old student much rather drive a Lamborghini than a stock car. I understand that. So I do see a future of putting the sport cars in the college realm.
I wanted to address on the equipment side. So Ray Smith did type this in. I'm going to read it just for the audience here and for anyone online who might have missed it. We'll be launching a product page before September. This will provide all the product types that are needed for a full setup. So again, try to remove all ambiguity for it, get the information you need to take action and run from there.
Next, one more thing, real quick. Is the software like a free to access like some game center, or is it like a product key type of?
Thank you for asking that. The question was asked, is this are you talking about chess.com, or I want to make, okay, for iRacing. So this is actually, this will be coming out next week. It's already built out. I just need to press go, which means I need to get past convention. But we work with iRacing, with NASCAR, some of our own IT guys. We developed a bot. It currently lives in the background of the NACE Discord. We're gonna have a channel in there, and this will actually, you ping it, it'll shoot out 3 codes there. These are one-time use. It gives you 3 months on the iRacing platform. It's a subscription model. Gives you a bunch of maps that you would have to pay for otherwise, some vehicles you have to pay for otherwise. So basically, if you want to think about it for the fall semester, we're getting you and as many students as you want in there for free. We're taking on the barrier ourselves. But that'll be kind of unique. You access it through our Discord. Botches will start shooting it out to you in DMs.
I'll add to that a bit. So yeah, iRacing is a subscription service. It's about $100 a year. And then it gives you a base number of tracks. It gives you a base number of cars. You do have the ability to purchase more tracks, more cars, depending on what you are interested in. The cars are I think between 10 and 12.95 per car. Once you buy it, you own it for life. And then the tracks are $10 to $15 as well. And once you own it for life, Iracing does a great job. They will continue to scan these tracks for updates so that, you know, the new Atlanta track just got repaved. It's smooth as butter. You fly around it compared to old Atlanta, which was bumpy, and it simulated that in its simulation. So
Some more questions. Yeah.
So if you already have an iRacing subscription, what happens if it's the code for NACE?
I mean, you'll still get it. You might not get everything. It just depends on what you own. So with the code comes a specific set of tracks, specific set of vehicles.
I think they're for new.
Yeah, they're
iRacing.
primarily meant for new drivers to come in. So if you already are on it, it doesn't really do anything more for you. Most likely you already own what it has. What I'm trying to say is if you already play it, you're probably past where this was going to get you. So there's not really a value for you.
A quick question on the subscription side, is that going to be per student? So if you have like a team, maybe a 3-7, do you have to pay for 3, or can you have a locked in?
Yeah, it's per individual user.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Which
this
hence-
model would be similar to Overwatch, where the student has to purchase their own account because it's going to be tied to them as their name.
I'm curious, since you guys said you overshot what you thought you could pull in from the students, what was the marketing effort for you guys to recruit players for that group?
So the question was, since you were initially concerned, then overjoyed by the number of participants, I'm adding color to what you actually said. What is the marketing elements behind this? And that's actually exciting. That's one of the reasons we're really excited to work with chess.com as well. And there's an added advantage there of an already existing population that's well identified. So for us, it was a lot of social media marketing. Like we basically blasted the waves. Anyone who was listening in this area, we were making sure they got it. We worked with some native groups who are already in the space, like Collegiate Iracing, worked with those groups. It's where we saw a lot of volunteer-driven organizations, right, who already had a community established, right, and we're able to basically go in there and say, we're doing this. Collegiate Iracing in particular came in and said, we use them as a resource. How are you doing this? What would you like to see? And they were phenomenal in helping to elevate to what we were doing, but also providing this natural group already playing and say, well, now come into this, and it gives us a nice starting point. But really, it was the marketing around this. Iracing, NASCAR came in huge to start promoting this as well, making sure that every person who's interested in it saw that and knew they had an opportunity to play. We were moved for both Iracing and for chess.com, as much as possible, we're removing barriers for people to participate. We want people to participate as much as humanly possible. So this thing is really exciting at scale, and that's what we're pushing towards. Also, we are the largest collegiate esports org in North America, which helps when we're talking to schools and trying to quickly see, well, what's going on in your campus? Small numbers individually, but across the entire network, it starts adding up pretty quickly. Iracing was different than chess.com in that it didn't really exist yet. And so we were kind of swinging in the dark, but we had a pretty good idea that there was interest there. Chess.com is different because it's already got a very strong ecosystem. Now we have an opportunity to grow it even more, but it's already fairly large. I thought there was another hand up. Josh, who am I missing?
Yeah,
No other.
I think we got.
Okay. Before we go, I want to check on time. Is there anything more that you would like to add? Michael, Joe, Ray? I'll let whoever wants to go and speak first.
Basically, we've talked about this initiative. We've talked about our wants and needs for the college area, but one thing I do want to make clear about how exciting the iRacing space is that in real life NASCAR, we are starting to see our real life drivers that race on Saturday and Sundays, they're coming from this platform. No longer are we finding talent at the local dirt track, you know, at the local short track, like those things are still going on. But this platform eliminates a lot of those barriers to get experience driving a car or engineering a car. So really what we've seen in the last couple of years is we've seen drivers that are coming from the simulator to real life. We're seeing engineers coming from the simulator to real life. We're finding car designers from the simulator to real life. And we're finding sponsors that are starting out in the simulation and are going to real life. So this is where we are one of the sports that have a unique opportunity to broaden our marketplace of where we find talent via this platform. And that's why we're excited to get this into the college and universities' hands, because we know that they are going to make us smarter in the next 5 to 10 years when we get their talent and we get their faculty wrapping their arms around us. So, you know, if there's any interest, any needs, please reach out to Michael, Joshua, even me. We're really trying to push this initiative because we really see in 10 years, we're going to look at a racing grid and we're going to say, majority of this field came from a video game. And that's something you can't say in the NFL, NBA. It's a very unique thing that we get to own.
Michael, Joe, is there anything you guys want to add?
Yeah, I just want to express my appreciation for everyone who attended this, asked questions, were engaged, and say we're really excited to bring the Collegiate Chess League to the NACE Star League community. And thank you for having us on this panel.
Yeah, thank you guys. The one last thing that I would add is that chess definitely already has an existing community, but the college chess level was actually really underdeveloped compared to the rest of the chess world. When I was a student in college, this didn't exist, which is really what inspired me to create it. So for us to start from scratch a few years ago to get to where it is now was already really exciting. And we're even more excited to be joining NACE and the esports community. And like Brancato said earlier, chess is a really unique game where it can be played both in real life, but also online as an esport. So this is a really cool opportunity for a lot of people, especially with such a low barrier of entry. It's completely free to play on chess.com and to register in the CCL. We're really excited to see just how much we can grow with the NACE community.
Joe, I don't know if you can share that. Maybe you just told me, but I don't know if you can share this stat, but can you say how many people are on chess.com? So I remember you telling me and I blew my mind, but I don't know if you're able to say that publicly.
No, it's definitely public. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. This is an old number that we have from a slide, but let's see. We have over 80 million registered users worldwide. So
I mean, if you just go to chess.com, it says how many players are active and how many games have been played today. And today there's already been nearly 10 million games of chess played, like today alone.
So yeah, they're doing well. The number blew my mind. If you're a number junkie like me, if this was all in the US, it basically means a third of the US play today. Right? Like it's mind-boggling numbers at scale. But we want to see that grow specifically in collegiate. We think it has a wonderful opportunity there. Chess in college, it makes a lot of sense. But anyways, thank you so much for your time. Again, if you have questions, feel free to message me on Discord or email, cell phone. You guys all have my contact information. JJ Myers as well. If we can't answer ourselves, we're going to go right to these individuals and we're going to ask them. Rule sets for these are coming publicly very, very soon. It'll be open with registration, which I believe August 1 is when registration opens across the entire board, which means everyone will see rule sets for everything as well. So thank you very much for your time. I don't see any more questions in chat. So I think we're good to go. Appreciate it.
I just have one thing I would like to add too. So
sorry.
A couple years ago, I thought I needed to join a leadership role here in NACE to get this moving forward. We only went over 2 emerging esports. I'm gonna assume that you guys are thinking of something else, or you have a passion that you want to bring to us. Please bring it to the board. Competition Council, Michael. I'm just gonna throw something out here that I met with somebody last week. While I don't see it as an esports yet, my tennis coach thought it was pretty cool. It is right here. Tennis esports, they're new, they're upcoming, they're emerging esports. We might be talking about this in a couple years. So just keep thinking about these and let us know so that we can grow new titles and games. Okay, thank you for coming to our session here. I hope you enjoy the rest of the conference.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Take care.